You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi and Small Town Music.
My daddy had a Cadillac, my uncle drove a Ford. One was Satan's angel and one worked for the Lord. They had some hard-earned wisdom, they both became my teachers. I was a young disciple of pimps and preachers.
Paul Thorn from Tupelo has been singing and writing music all his life. A musical cousin to Elvis and John Prine, no real relation there. He crafts songs that explore life and truth and has a new record that professes one of those truths, and that is life is a vapor. But mostly he wants you to come to his shows. You'll find out why in this session with Paul Thorn. Chris Davis here from WYAB down in Jackson. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. How you doing?
Doing fine. I was wondering if you're ready for your interview.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
I saw you recently played a show in your hometown in Tupelo, and man, the band was hot. They were sounding good. Looks like you guys are putting in the work.
Yeah, man, I hadn't played my hometown in about 10 years, and it was nice to get back and do it again. I usually travel around playing everywhere but home, but it was a lot of fun. And you know, my band we've been a band for a long time. My drummer's been with me for 28 years. You know, so this is something we've had a long time.
Yeah. So you find it's hard to maintain a band? I know that you've had some personnel changes before. I know one of your guitar players left at one time, and you find it's hard to keep guys, because I know a lot of people use hired guns, but some people like to keep a steady band.
I've never had a hired gun band. You know, my band has been, the only people that's left my band was my Bill Hines, my guitar player, who played for me for over 20 years, and he just retired. Period. From working, he didn't. He didn't leave. You know, he didn't leave on any bad terms or nothing like that. He just. It was time for him to retire. You know, and the same with the other guy. I lost the bass player, but he left because he was retiring. Period. From working. So I've had really good luck keeping a band, and once they get in it, they just stay, and I'm thankful for that. And I've also been fortunate that I've picked people to play with me that I can actually be friends with and get along with, because when you travel with people in your job, it's imperative, it's very important that you get along, you know, and that you like each other, because it's a lot. You spend more time with the band than you do your own family in reality, you know. So I'm real picky about who I get associated with, because life is short to live it with a jerk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that.
I mean?
For sure. But there must be some kind of element of leadership there, you know, that they appreciate. There must be some incentive, you know, besides the money that keeps them in that.
I hope so. I mean, you'd have to ask them. I don't want to, you know, I'm not here to glorify myself. I'm just, you'd have to ask them. I can't answer that, but I think they do want to stay. It's like, well, just for an example, my newest member of the band, the newest member who replaced my old bass player. He's only been with me a couple years, but the other night after a show, we got back to the hotel, and we were getting out and walking to the room, and I just, something came over me, and I just put my hand on his shoulder. It was named Scott Esbeck, my bass player. I just put my hand on his shoulder, and I said, "Man, I'm glad you're here." And I gave him a hug, and he looked back at me, and he said, "Well, I'm glad to be here." And man, little insignificant moments like that are actually very significant. And it was a bonding moment. And it's little things like that. That's just one example of how you can keep people in your life, man. You gotta, you know, it's one thing to tell somebody you love them, But then when you show it every day, when you're traveling with them and you're courteous to one another and you try to listen to the other one's problems if they have one, and that's how you make friendships. And I've been fortunate in my band. They're all friends, you know. My guitar player, Chris Simmons, he was Leon Russell's guitar player, and then Leon Russell passed away. And, you know, when my other guitar player retired, he stepped in the slot, and now he's doing a fantastic job. And like I say, I'm blessed to have the right people.
Hey, that means I've seen your guitar player before. I got to see. I've not been fortunate enough to see one of your shows yet, but I did see Leon a couple of times.
Yeah, he was Leon's guitar player, and then Leon passed away, and he needed a gig, and thank God we found him.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about your background for people who are not familiar. You started out as a boxer, so how does a person go from being a professional boxer to being a professional singer-songwriter?
Well, music came first. My father was a Pentecostal preacher, and I grew up singing in church. That's where I learned music, is singing in church. Being from Tupelo, Mississippi, I actually attended some of the churches that Elvis Presley actually went to himself. And so I have a lot of the same training ground that Elvis did. But when I got in my teens, I took up boxing. My uncle was a professional boxer at one time, and he taught me how to do it. And over time, turns out I was fairly good at it, and I wound up, being to make a long story short, I wound up being a top 10 rated middleweight in the United States. And the highlight of my boxing career was in 1988. I fought on national television against Roberto Duran, and I got stopped on cuts after 6 rounds, but I gave a pretty good account of myself. And I had a couple fights after I lost to Duran, but at some point I realized, even though I was pretty good at boxing, I didn't have that little extra something it takes to be a champion. Those are special people that can become a world champion. And although I was good, I wasn't great, and there's a difference. And so I had 3 fights after I fought Roberto Duran, and I won them all, but they were against lesser opposition. And I just feel like, naysayers, which you run into a lot, I heard more than once, they would say, "How come you quit boxing, Paul?" And I say, I didn't quit boxing. I did not quit boxing. I took boxing as far as I could take it. There's a huge difference. If I thought I could have been a world champion, I would have still stayed in there, but I realized that I just didn't. And I made some good memories. I got to fight one of the greatest fighters who ever lived. I gave a pretty good account of myself. I could hold my head up. But when I got, out of boxing, I had already been doing music for a long time, writing songs. I never stopped doing that, writing songs and playing. But through a series of events, I got a record deal on A&M Records, and in the late '90s, and I got a publishing deal. I got a record deal. I got a record company was giving me money to live on, and I just started.
One drug me through the darkness, one led me to the light. One showed me how to love, one taught me how to fight. I guess you could say I am an overachiever, and I owe a debt of gratitude to pimps and preachers.
Coming up, getting established in the music business, the concert business, and how an encounter with the brother of one of the members of the Police helped put Paul Thorn on the musical map. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi and Small Town Music. Paul Thorn of Tupelo had a successful boxing career, but he had always been writing and performing songs, even while training himself to take and give punches. He got a record deal in the late 90s and says he owes some of his success to the brother of a world-renowned musician.
Well, being a preacher's son, we weren't allowed to go to concerts, like rock concerts. And to make another long story short, the first concert I ever attended, I was opening for Sting, and lead singer of the Police, and that came into fruition by Miles Copeland, Sting's manager, saw me playing at a pizza restaurant in Tupelo, Mississippi, and he had came and made a trip down there because he heard some demos of some songs I had written. So so I got this tour with opening for Sting, and it went really well. And when I did the shows with Sting, I didn't have a band. It was just me and my guitar. So I went out there, and the audience really liked what I did. And when my tour was over with Sting, the great guitar player Jeff Beck had heard about me and liked what I did, and he invited me to go on tour with him. So I did a Jeff Beck tour, which led to same thing again. I went on tour with Mark Knopfler from Dire Straits, and then I went on tour with Bonnie Raitt, and then I went on tour with Toby Keith, all these other people who were big household names. And even though the people that came to the concerts didn't come to see me, I could come back to that same town we played in 6 months later, and I would do my own show. And a lot of people who saw me with whoever, Sting, Jeff Beck, or whoever, they came back and saw me do my own show. The way I established my audience was opening for other people. But, now I'll still do it every once. If there's somebody that's got a larger audience than me and it's a good fit, I'll do it now. But mostly I headline everywhere I play now. I'm not a household name by any means, but I've developed a really loyal and consistent following. We live in a world now where you can be the hottest thing on the planet for a week and then you're forgotten again. But one thing I'm happy about is my fans have stayed with me. I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and my fans have stayed with me, and even now, it's still growing. It's still growing. A lot of people, they have a little run, and then it tapers off, and then they start going backwards. But I can honestly say my audience has literally grown every single year since I've been doing this, and it's just I feel like I'm just getting started. I mean, I know I'm 61 years old, but I feel great, and I'm doing all the things. I'm trying to do the things I'm supposed to do. Things have changed a lot. When you put a record out now, it's not as big an event as it used to be, because now there's so much content. Like, you got TikTok, you got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got all these these social medias, and when you get on your phone or your computer, there's so many options and so many things you can look at. That you're just a needle in a haystack. I put a record out called Life Is Just a Vapor, and I'm not just saying this because they always say this, but I feel like it's the best record I ever did. I feel like the songs are the best, the recording is the best. That being said, most of the world don't even know that record exists.
Every day when you wake up, you are bombarded with content if you get on your phone.
Yeah, you're just like me. You got a podcast. It's a good podcast. Now your challenge is to make the world know it even exists.
But
we're all doing that.
Like you said just a minute ago when you were talking about your boxing career, though, you gave a fair account of yourself, and you're still giving a fair account of yourself. You're doing what it takes and putting the work in.
Yeah, I don't mean to sound like I'm not thankful for what I've got. I'm really thankful for what I've got, because, there's artists out there doing the same thing I do, and they're having massive success, and everybody in the world knows who they are. But there's people that look at where I'm at and think, oh, God, I wish you could get where Paul is. You see what I'm saying? It's all relative, man.
Yeah, kind of a matter of perspective there.
You cannot compare your life or your career to what somebody else is doing. If you do that, you're wasting time. You got to make the best of what you got and figure out how to multiply it. And today, every day when I get up, the first thing I do my little social media. I get on, I post songs, I'll sing songs, I'll talk about music, I'll talk about different things. But the real ultimate goal is to get people to come to the show. Back before CDs went the way of the dinosaur, we made a huge amount of our income off selling CDs, but CDs are done. The only people that buy CDs are just older people who, don't have a switch. And it's just a very niche thing now. So I have to make my living going and doing shows and selling tickets in those shows. All my social media goals is to make people aware of what I do, get them out to the shows, and continue to build my following. And when I do a show, the one thing that seems to happen over and over is people leave. They're telling me this. They leave feeling better than they did before they came.
We're gonna need 2 incomes, one dependable truck, just a half acre on your daddy's land, and a little luck. We'll need a load of white gravel and a driveway, so we won't get stuck in a rut. A 3-horsepower lawnmower encourage my love. Courage, my love, is gonna take a little courage, my love. I'll meet you in the middle when the nights are long, when you shed a tear, I'll whisper in your ear, 'cause my love. When the honeymoon's over, the thrill won't be gone. We can make it, girl, as the seasons change, but we gotta be strong. We can laugh out loud when the wind blows, under a blanket all cuddled up, with some microwave popcorn, encourage my love. Courage, my love, is gonna take a little courage, my love. I'll meet you in the middle when the nights are long, when you shed a tear, I'll whisper in your ear, 'cause my love. Sometimes the weight of the world makes us both wanna run away. But baby, when our strength is gone, let's hold each other and say, courage, my love, is gonna take a little courage, my love. I'll meet you in the middle when the nights are long, when you shed a tear, I'll whisper in your ear, 'cause my love.
From the album Life is Just a Vapor, it's Paul Thorn with Courage, My Love. Coming up, how eating ice cream in a hotel room with this guy got them both in trouble. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB. You've got the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi and Small Town Music. Singer-songwriter Paul Thorn, born and raised in Tupelo, says his time on the road doing concerts, he believes, brings joy to the people who come to the shows. And he says that rare element of joy is all the more important when you realize that life is just a vapor, which is the title for his most recent record.
And they say sometimes it's because of the way I share things with them. And, you know, at the end of the show, I don't just leave the building. I go out in the crowd. I stand in the foyer, I shake every hand, and I thank everybody. I got that from my dad being a preacher.
I was going to say, that sounds like Sunday after church.
It is. It's the exact same thing. Is that people want to feel they want to feel loved, and you know you can't spend a lot of time with everybody. That's just not enough hours in the day. But if you just shake somebody's hand and look them in the eye and say, I'm glad you came, and just say something kind to them, man. They never forget it. They never forget it.
And I think that's a lot of that is the Mississippi in you too.
Yeah. There's a lot of that Southern hospitality that I'm thankful that I inherited and grew up being around.
Well, I want to ask you something about one of your songs, because you mentioned the record "Life Is a Vapor," and you opened up that song with something that really caught my ear, and that was sharing ice cream with John Prine in the DoubleTree. And
that's true. That's a true story, because
I figured it was
John. I opened up for John. John is one of the other guys. Of all the people I ever toured with, I have to say John Prine was probably the most beneficial to my career, because his audience, they love singer-songwriters, and that's what I do. And one night after I opened up for him, he invited me and a few other folks to come to his hotel suite after the show and have some ice cream. And I went and had some ice cream, and then the next day I posted on Facebook that I had that moment with him eating the ice cream. And right when I posted it, his manager called my manager and said to take the post down, because his wife, Fiona, who's been trying to get him to eat better, was going to get mad at him for eating ice cream because he eats too many sweets.
Got him in trouble.
And so I got it. So I got in trouble, and so that's opening line, that opening phrase in the song. It really happened.
Me and John Prine was eating ice cream at the DoubleTree in Suite 1019. Don't tell Fiona, she won't understand. Life is a vapor, let's live it while we can. I took Mama fishing, put her lunch in a sack. We caught a few brown, but we threw them all back. It don't matter that she don't know who I am. Life is a vapor, let's live it while we can. Every day's a gift, breathing and holding. Every day's a gift, it's gone before you know it. Life is just a vapor. Life is just a vapor.
Life is just a vapor.
Life is just a vapor.
Life is just a vapor.
Life is just a vapor.
Life is just a vapor.
Most Sunday evenings, me and my friends get together where the driveway ends. We bring our guitars and we have a little jam. Life is a vapor, let's live it while we can. Before you know it, life is just a vapor.
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 These beautiful moments will never come again. Life is a someday turns into time just slipping away. The hourglass is running out of sand. Life is a vapor, let's live it while we can. Every day's a gift of breathing and holding. Every day's a gift, it's gone before you know it. Life is just a vapor.
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 And then, you know, I thought about that scripture in the Bible. It says, life is but a vapor. And it's really true. What that's saying is it's short. It don't last no time. And the older I get, the more I understand that. And that song, Life is Just a Vapor, it's saying something that's really true. And it's saying it in a real simple way. You know, the second verse says, I took Mama fishing, put our lunch in a sack. We caught a few brim, but we threw them all back. It don't matter that she don't know who I am. Life is a vapor. Let's live while we can. And that comes from that came from my mom. My mother has dementia. And, you know, her mind is slipping away. It gets further and further away every day. And so if you can just go do anything with them, even if they don't even know who you are anymore, it's still them.
What an incredible story. I think when I listened to the album, what stood out to me is that a lot of the songs were a bit more reflective, I think, maybe than some of the past albums. When I think about, you know, Pimps and Preachers, that song was a little harder, even though it kind of told your story. But these songs are seemingly maybe a little bit softer and more reflective of life.
I think they are, you know. And like I said, I'm not really old, but I'm 61 years old. What's my time on this earth? I ain't gonna live this long again, you know. So, but I don't fear death. I just enjoy life. The only thing I fear about death is I hope it don't hurt. You know what I mean? I hope it don't hurt. I hope I die peacefully, but I ain't scared of dying, man. I'm more of a guy that enjoys life. I enjoy life more than I do fear death.
It's gone before you know it. Life is just a vapor. Oh, life is just a vapor. Oh, life is just a vapor. Life is just a vapor.
Coming up, why a good critique matters in the here and now. You're listening to the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB.
Thank you, everybody. We love you.
You've got the Blues and Arts Hour on 103.9 WYAB, brought to you by Blue Cross, Blue Shield of Mississippi, and Small Town Music. And today, singer-songwriter Paul Thorn, born and raised in Tupelo. I think you got a long way to go. You know, I went and saw Paul McCartney recently, and the guy's 83, and he's still out there doing it. So, you know, you're 61. You got a long way to go.
Yeah, well, he's one of the greatest songwriters that ever lived. I mean, his body of work is just insanely great, and I'm a big fan of him, and I'm glad he's still doing it. He don't have to do it. He don't. I mean, it's not like he needs the money. I think it's just who he is, and that's what he does, and that's going to be his joy in life. And he's, you know, I think he understands too that life is a vapor. He's not fearing death. He's enjoying life, just like what I'm trying to do.
I wrote this song about things I've heard my mom say down through the years, and these lyrics are not mine. They're just random things I've heard her say. I love my mother, and I made this song for her. Thank you, I'm okay, I guess. I just need a little rest. I'll catch up on my sleep tonight. I ain't complaining, that's life. I've got blueberries in the yard. I bought 100 mason jars. I'm gonna pick them when they're ripe. Another season, that's life. Wipe that tear out of your eye. Behind the clouds, the sun still shines. You're in my prayers every night. Enjoy the journey, that's life. There's a touch of fall in the wind. Can't wait till you come back again. You're the brightest star in my sky. Wish you could stay, that's life. I know it's time for you to go. Here's a sandwich for the road. It's always hard to say goodbye. Ain't that the truth? That's life. Wipe that tear out of your eye. Behind the clouds, the sun still shines. You're in my prayers every night. Enjoy the journey, that's life.
Yeah, you mentioned you know you were talking about your background in the Pentecostal church there, and there is there's something that believers have, I think, that other people don't when it comes to the way they live life and the way they approach their passions and their discipline.
Well, I'm a believer, but that's big. But what I believe, I can't even put into words what I believe. You know, because the one thing that I do know, whatever you believe, you might be wrong. I've came to that conclusion for myself. I don't claim to know what's on the other side of life. I really don't. I've got thoughts and opinions, but the only people, it's just me now talking, but the only people that knows what's on the other side of life are dead people. And I haven't had the opportunities to talk to one of them.
Well, that's why they call it the great mystery, right?
Yeah. And, you know, there's a lot of people that profess that they know what's on the other side of life, and if you disagree with them, they actually get angry. And when they get angry, I just walk away.
I want to tell you, I really enjoyed the new album, and I look forward to being able to see you guys live. The show, I think, you know, from the clips that I've seen, and I'm glad you do get up and post those clips. The show is just sounding really good and professional. You guys must work at it a lot. You must rehearse a lot.
Well, to be honest, we only rehearse once a year. We get together and rehearse once a year. And we'll learn two. We'll usually make 3 sets, and we'll rehearse those 3 sets, and we do them for a year. And then the next time we come back, well, the next year we do it But one thing we do every night after a show, we critique it. We don't beat each other up, but if we have a good night, we'll just say, "Hey, we had a good night." But if one of us don't play a part right, or I miss a verse of a song, we talk about it, and that way it keeps getting better, And plus, the guys in my band are world class. I wasn't trying to name drop a minute ago, but if you were the guitar player for Leon Russell, you're good. You know what I mean?
I think that stands to reason.
Yeah, and everybody in my band is at that level. I mean, everybody in my band is. I'm the worst musician in the band. They're all better musicians than I am. I'm just I'm a songwriter and a singer and a storyteller, and that's what I do. And I guarantee you, when people come to the show, they're gonna feel something. It's not just a bunch of guys up there, with their shirts buttoned down, with their shirts buttoned up in the front, trying to be sexy or something like that. We really got something to say. We're trying to perpetuate enjoying life, and all the things on the album. Life is Just a Vapor. That whole album talks about who me and this band is. All of us are just passing through. But while we're passing through, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to be together. We're going to build a following, and when we get together with the crowd, it's almost like church in a way, because there's a spirit that comes with it. You have to be there to know what I'm talking about, but it's consistent every single night. At the end of our shows, I jump off every night. I go off the stage and I sing a song, but while I'm singing, I go around and I hug people and I shake their hand, and it touches people, man. That's something that we need to get back to. Fellowshipping with people. Not detaching. There's some people you got to stay away from, because there are crazy people in the world. There are dangerous people in the world. But for the most part, when you go to a Paul Thorn show, it's like going to a revival, because everybody leaves feeling better. And, man, if I can keep on doing that, I will have had a life well spent.
Well, I want to tell you, I wish you the best in that. And for our sakes, keep on keeping on and have fun, and keep us having fun.
Yeah, and my dad being a preacher, I'm gonna say what he said: if you know about the show and you don't come, you're going to hell.
That is fantastic. Your socials, Facebook, Paul Thorn. That's where people can find you.
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram and TikTok. And anybody that wants my music, it's on all platforms. You can get a traditional CD. You can get it. You can listen to it on Spotify. Any music service, I'm on it.
All right, Paul Thorn from Tupelo, Mississippi. Thank you so much for taking the time this morning.
Yes, sir. And I wish you a great success.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good one. The Blues and Arts Hour, brought to you each Friday morning at 9 by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi and Small Town Music on 103.9 WYAB.